it's Shelly with heartsonyourfood.com, and we're back. Sorry, I tend to go like this with things. I'm on it and then I'm not on it. So, took a little time off during the holidays. Hopefully everyone's had a great start to their new year and they're on the vegan trail. That's what we want to hear. So today we're going to make some really awesome cookies. My grandma used to make these. Sorry if you hear all the doggies in the background. We got a full house today. Anyways, my grandma used to make these really awesome cookies. They're called peanut butter cocoa cookies, and they're just a drop oatmeal cookie. So I try to take out all the, bad ingredients and put in some good ones. So this is definitely not what you'd want to eat every day. But since our site is dedicated to helping you transition from a standard American diet to a raw food diet, I think that these kinds of recipes are really, really important because they keep you on, on the straight and narrow. I don't know why these dogs are being so loud, but anyway, these cookies keep you just, oh my God, I'm going to break down, and then you have something that you can grab to get you over that, crisis time. So, sorry. Anyway, so we're just going to go ahead and start. Okay, so I'm reading off my card here because what I did was I just, like I said, took out the other ingredients and added my own. So we're going to start with, in place of the sugar, we're going to start with agave. We're going to do the wet ingredients first. And again, the full recipes will be posted on our blog at heartsonyourfood.blogspot.com. You can go back through the archives and get every single one of our recipes that we did. It's just not in video form. Like I said, it's all posted there, so go check that out. And then we're going to use, this recipe calls for ½ cup of milk, but what I do is I put in about ¼ cup, and then when I see what the oats are doing, I might need more or less, or not less, but more. So I'm going to wait for the milk on that, and then we've got some vanilla. And in place of the butter, we're going to use coconut butter. And I get my coconut butter at Whole Foods. It's a brand called Artisana. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but I'm going to try to make my own just because it is kind of expensive. I think it's like $10.99 for 16 ounces. That's kind of, a little bit expensive. And then we have 2 tablespoons of cacao. Or you can use carob if you're, not exactly thrilled about cacao. Go ahead and use your carob. I don't mind using cacao every once in a while because it's not like this. Seriously, this is the first time I've made something chocolate in maybe Thanksgiving I made the cookies. I'm not sure. But, so it's been a couple months. So if you don't eat it every day, I think you're okay. So go ahead and just stir that up until it's nice and creamy and got most of the lumps out if there's any lumps. And then I'm going to add a little tiny bit, probably half of this coconut milk. And this is my coconut milk recipe. Again, heartsonyourfood.blogspot.com. You can get all the recipes there. So I'm just going to add a little bit to get it going. And then we've got the cocoa part. Now we need the peanut butter part. And I use Adams brand peanut butter. It's the least processed peanut butter I've seen that's, economical. I think, oh my gosh, the jar is huge. I get it at Walmart for like, I think $5.98 or $6.98. And all it has in it is peanuts and just a tad bit of salt, I think, that they add to it. And it's like not a lot of salt at all. So, I'm stirring the peanut butter. So we've got a thick, gloppy substance here. And then we'll add in our oats. And like I said, if I feel like it needs more moisture, I'll just keep adding coconut milk until, it gets to the right consistency. I'm not a measurer, so when I make this recipe, usually I'm just dumping stuff in and tasting it as I go. So we'll go ahead with these oats. We'll do about half and half. Just stir it up. On a side note, I'm sure some of you have noticed by my posts that on Facebook and on YouTube, I started a jewelry business. I have a site on Etsy, and it's super fun. I'm having a good time being creative and working with my hands. That's what it's working okay. Just add the rest in. Now these are drop cookies. So the normal way that you make them, some of you probably have this recipe in your family too, is you boil all the ingredients on the stove, the butter and the milk and the sugar, and then you pour in the oats and the peanut butter at the end, and then you drop them on wax paper and just leave them sitting on the counter, and it all solidifies and becomes a nice, you know, chunky cookie, nice and hard. And so what I do, since I'm not cooking them, is I put them in my dehydrator, just for a little bit to give it, you know, just to let the oats be able to soak up some of the moisture. You don't have to put them in the dehydrator. If you have one, I think it makes it taste a lot better. So all you do is you take 2 spoons and just drop them on the tray like this. And like I said, all the heat, the little bit of heat does is help the oats soak up the moisture. So it's not so crunchy. I mean, you can totally not put these in the dehydrator. I would let them sit out, and then I would put them in the freezer or the refrigerator to solidify. Coconut butter is much like, or is exactly like coconut oil, where it melts at 75 degrees. So they're not gonna get firm if you don't either freeze them or put them in the refrigerator. Unless it's really, really cold where you are, and then they should be fine on the counter. Okay, so we're gonna continue to do this. I'm gonna stick them in the dehydrator at, I'll probably set it at 140 for an hour. Now it's not gonna get to 140 degrees in here for the hour, so don't worry about that. You can set it, if you're worried about that, set it at a lower temperature, just leave it an hour and a half. You know, 105 at an hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever. Just taste them and you'll be able to tell when they're done. So I'm going to go ahead and put these in the dehydrator, and then we'll check back with you when they're done. Also, side note on oats, oats are not raw, okay? You could argue agave is not raw. You could argue peanut butter is not raw, okay? There are certain things when you start a raw food diet I think are perfectly fine to eat. They're included in tons of recipes. If you wanted to go super hardcore, you could try to do oat groats, soak them, dehydrate them, you know, put them in the food processor so you could chop them up. I don't want to go to all that trouble. Because this is not something that you're eating every single day. But it does help you get over the hump. So, you know, it's always good, better, best. Try to get the best peanut butter you can. Try to get the best agave you can. If you're not a fan of agave and you're okay using honey, use honey. Maple syrup is another alternative to your sweetener. Date paste is another alternative to your sweetener. You know, just do the best you can with what you have. There's always good, better, best. So again, the oats, organic, very lightly processed, but they are steamed to open them up. So, you know, do what feels right to you and just enjoy yourself. So like I said, we'll be back with this, and we'll let you know how it goes. Thanks. Hi everybody, we're back, and our cookies are pretty much all done. There's just one more step. As you can see, they're all finished here. They look pretty much the same as when they went in, except for we're missing a row because some cookie thieves came over and ate my cookies. So hopefully yours will make it to this last step. Not everyone will eat them. I just slide them off of the tray here, the dehydrator tray. And if you're not going to do the dehydrator, just put down, you know, wax paper, or I have some like really thin cutting sheets that I use. What are they called? Brittany, help.
Cutting board?
Yeah, cutting board. They're those really thin, little tiny ones that you can buy. They're made out of plastic. I just put them on the cookie sheet, and I take and I put it in the freezer or refrigerator, usually freezer, for like 5-10 minutes, just so the coconut butter will firm up. And then I take a container like this, and I just put them all in there, and I store them in the refrigerator. So that's all that there is to that, and they're really, really good. A couple other things I want to talk about. Peanut butter, especially the Adams brand peanut butter. When you buy it, it will be, there'll be a layer of oil at the top. That's just the peanuts. It's not added oil. It's just the peanut butter separated from the oil, the actual peanuts, you know, the oil. So it'll separate. So what I do is I take a big bowl, dump all the peanut butter in there with the oil, and I stir it all up. And then that's when you use it. You don't want to like try to, you know, grab it out. You only have to do that one time. Then Adam's peanut butter is stored in the refrigerator. And when you take it out of the refrigerator to use it, it will be hard as a rock, like really hard. So you have to let it sit out at room temperature, and about, I don't know, it takes like a half an hour for it to, you know, become room temperature to where it's stirrable. So, and then similarly, the coconut butter does the same thing. It gets hard at 75 degrees, or under 75. And so you have to, I take a little bowl of hot water and I just put it in that and let it, and then I keep stirring it until it's, you know, nice and smooth. So those are just 2 things I forgot to mention, and I think that's it. So hopefully your cookies will come out good, and you'll get to have some before other people eat them. So we'll talk to you next time. Remember heartsinyourfood.blogspot.com for recipes, and heartsinyourfood.com for anything Hearts in Your Food related. And also there's a jewelry tab there for my new venture. So if you're interested in any vegan themed jewelry and also other things, just regular stuff, go there and check it out. Talk to you guys later. Bye.